Hey, Sunshine Do Buckaroos, how the heck are you? Oh, decided I get one in. I haven't been doing much on Tuesdays lately with stuff coming up, but thought I'd try to get one in today. Anyways, yeah, this is gonna be a quickie because I got my dinner ready. I put a pizza in the oven. In fact, made a pizza. Well, more or less. Did cheat a little bit. It's a store-bought crust, but the rest of it's all me. So a combination of uh, sharp provolone and fresh mozz, some Canadian bacon, black olives, and some basil on this one. I'm going to pour myself a little whiskey with you. I'm going to do it all together today. Finishing this up, some Bushmills 12. I picked this up right about St. Patrick's Day. It's my St. Patrick's whiskey. Oh, hell, we're going to kill it. There's not enough there to hang on to. There we go. Let's just kill that. Let me show you this bottle one more time. There we go. But I'm going to pour myself a beer as well. From Urban Chestnut. This is their Dorf beer, a Bavarian style Dunkel. And if you know Urban Chestnut, they are known for their German styles. They do make them right to style. They do other stuff well, but it's really the German styles are their home run swing. Bavarian Dunkel. I think it says, trying to read the, oh, I forgot to turn my light on. That's what I did forgot to do. I meant to put that on. I turned my studio light on. There we go. I knew something was missing there. Hey, that's much better. Anyway, hey, man. I am off tomorrow. So I thought I'd have a couple drinks tonight. It's 5% even. Show you that can. Just perch that up there. Along with the bottle here. Put that up here for you to see as well. Cilantro. Oh gosh, that is a nice Dunkel. That really is. That's just gorgeous. Oh, I've been drinking a lot of rum lately since we got back from vacation, but I had just a little bit left of that bottle, so I figured, well, we'll combine the Irish and the German tonight. This will get me started. Then I'll take a break, have some dinner, and I may come back. We'll see. For me, there's something special about an Irish single malt. I do prefer Irish to Scotch. Not that I don't like those peat notes. I just feel, for the most part anyway, I feel like Irish is more cohesive, but I understand why some like those big smoky peat notes. And as far as single malts go, I prefer the smooth, sweeter one. And this 12-year-old is just very nice. But yes, I have been drinking a lot of rums lately, and I have been enjoying them actually. And I think I'm going to kind of switch gears and start buying more aged rums. Try different brands of what I can get here. I didn't realize I could get the Florida Cognac was as popular as it was, or as widespread as it is. I didn't know enough about aged rums to make that connection. But I know my local Total Wine has it. Runs about 60 a bottle. Uh, and it's just a nice aged rum. But again, if you're comparing single malts, right? If you're comparing aged products, an 18-year-old rum goes for about $60, whereas an 18-year-old Irish or Scotch is going to go for quite a bit more. So yeah, I've decided I'm going to start. I liked all of them that I had when we were on vacation. I sampled several while we were in Belize. Some of them I brought home with me, but I haven't opened them yet. But yeah, just it was enough to make me want to try more. Ugh. Oh, damn it. Bug got in my deal there. Son of a gun. Those little gnats have been a bitch this year. Hold on. Sorry about that. My OCD wouldn't let me continue. It's a problem, man. It's a real problem. Anyways, I digress. I'm gonna put this over here, and I'm gonna lay something over the top of it so bug can't get in it while I'm doing something else here. Oh, yeah, we didn't have a great time on vacation though. My wife and I had said that the last thing we'd ever do is take a cruise, and we found ourselves taking a cruise. Um, some friends got a heck of a deal, and we kind of piggybacked off their offer. And once you take a cruise, they start sending you offers. But since they've taken more than we have, our offers aren't quite as good as theirs. So if we take another one, it's going to cost us a little more than it did this time. And quite frankly, we were content to just visiting different places you know, in the U.S. But now that we have our passports, I almost feel like it's a moral imperative to go to other places, whether it's on a cruise or somewhere else. Now that I have the passport and I can travel, never really had that travel bug before, if I'm being honest, but now I feel like I need to. Oh, man, that is nice. Brewer I work at makes a very nice dunkel as well. This one is done just exquisitely well, though. Those nice big malt notes. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Lunch, yeah. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put it up there. Oh, oh, mercy. Ugh. My old Bushmills glass there. Thought I finished this. I was going to have some rum, in all honesty, but I thought, well, maybe the Irish is a better way to go. There were just a little bit left in that bottle. I figured it was time to, time to finish it up since I've been working on it since St. Patrick's Day. It was probably time to work it through. Oh, so our first port was Costa Maya. We didn't plan an excursion because hadn't been to any of these places before. So I kind of wanted to check out the ports, and I'd heard kind of mixed reviews on it. It wasn't for us. It's very aggressive. They'll just yell at you and want you to come in their store. I mean, they'll almost drag you in. Uh, and and I could live with that if that's all it was. But I mean, they're just blasting music so loud you can't relax. Because my thought was I was just going to hit a few shops. I'm going to grab some beer, uh, hit one of the lawn chairs there, and just take it easy, or lounge chairs rather. Uh, but if the music was so loud and they were just so aggressive, we just had enough. Well, so we were only there for a couple hours, and we went back to the ship, which was kind of cool because most folks are still out there, so the stuff on the ship wasn't crowded yet. Second stop was Belize or Belize City. We didn't leave the port on this one either for pretty much the same reason as uh, we wanted to see what was there, just check out the port area. We weren't really looking into doing the sightseeing and the other stuff that particular trip. That was more relaxed shopping. I'd always heard that the Belize port was very aggressive, but they weren't. They had people out there that would help you, but they weren't, lying to you or trying to come up with some scam to get you inside. Once you walked in their store, they were going to help you, but I don't remember anybody just being very aggressive there. So that was kind of nice and relaxing. We went to one shop, and I know I've told the story a couple times already, but uh, more or less like a five and dime kind of store because they had everything in there. And I was picking up some hot sauce and a couple of bottles or small bottles of rum. And my wife was picking up some other things, and we go to pay to get out. She says, "Well, if you bought more than five things, you buy five things, you get a free rum punch." So I said, "Okay." So I thought to myself, every store everywhere should do this. I wish stores here in the States would do that. I bought five things. Give me my whatever, even if it's just a beer. But yeah, I have an alcoholic beverage. I think if we ever go back there again, I'm just going to tell them that I will buy five things if they let me have my rum punch to walk around the store. I'll probably buy more than five after about half that rum punch. Anyway, I digress. Our other stop was Cozumel. And that port was nice too. It was sort of somewhere between, as far as being aggressive, somewhere between Costa Maya and Belize. A little more aggressive than Belize, not quite as aggressive as Costa Maya. But I booked us a day or 4 hours anyway at a beach club. It was all you can eat or drink for. You could stay longer, but the eat or drink was for 4 hours. So, anyways, we tried snorkeling for the first time. Didn't go well, but we got a taste of it to want to do it again. We're just probably gonna, get some instruction instead of just trying to hop in the water. But he says neither of us are great swimmers. But anyways, now we know, and we have our snorkel mask, so we have the ability to do that at any time now. So we went to Sky Reef. It's not one of the flashier clubs, in all honesty, but that's kind of the reason I chose it because a lot of the others were, well, in my opinion, anyways, probably set for more younger people with jet skis and all that nonsense. We didn't really want to do that. We just wanted somewhere we could just sit at a beach or just lay down at the beach. So with the all inclusive, it allowed you to get the lounge chairs that were right there on the beach. And it is a rocky beach though. So we just kind of rely after our attempt at snorkeling, we just kind of later. It was all you could eat or drink. She wasn't really feeling any alcohol at that point, but they just kept making her these really neat mocktails, if you will. And I tried a couple things, but I mostly just stuck with, beer and tequila. Just beer and tequila, baby. That's it. But no, it was fun. They with the package, you got a free tequila tasting, which I did, and you also got a free 5 minute massage. Obviously, the point of those is to sell you things, right? So the woman that does the massage comes on over, and she's explained it to my wife, and they want to sell you a longer massage. So after there's some, negotiation, I said, okay, so she has 5 free minutes. She says, yes. And I have 5 free minutes. She says, yes. How about if I give her my 5 free minutes? That's 10. We pay for 20, 30-minute massage. She says, okay. I didn't think it'd be that easy, but I had to ask. She actually I feel like she was in there longer than 30, but she said she really enjoyed it. So, but anyway, after a little bit, I kind of went over. So they have the tequila tasting here, and then the hut for the massages is just a little ways away. So I went over and kind of peeked in. She was still getting a massage. So as I was walking away, the guy, it's like I said, I already had my tequila tasting at this point. He'd kind of walked over and said, "Just why don't you come back in here? You can taste these other tequilas." Okay. So I did taste the other ones, and she wasn't quite done yet. He said, "Just have a seat there, relax." I said, "Okay." So then he starts pouring more tequila. I mean, we're not talking full shots, right? They're still little cups, but he's pouring more tequila, and then he gets a deck of cards, and his name was Cesar. Then his friend Clemente, who I don't know, I know he works there, but I don't know exactly what he does there, came over. So Cesar Clemente and I were playing cards, not poker, just cards. While she's getting a massage, I thought, man, here I am on vacation, knocking back some decent tequila, just playing a game of cards to pass the time. This is like the most relaxing vacation ever. That was nice. So anyway, when we finished up there, we went back to the Cozumel port. Like I said, it was not quite as aggressive as Cozumel or as a Costa Maya, but a little more aggressive than Belize. But as we're getting ready to wrap it up, right by the pier was a Three Amigos. I told my wife, I want to have one last beer in here because I wanted to go to this place. And, it's a tourist spot, but it was kind of the idea of just wanting to be there. And the duty free store was right there. You've got to walk through the duty free store to get through to the pier to get back to the ship. And there's just a lot of stuff in there. So, anyways, my intention was just to be there for a short time. I ended up being there a little longer than I had expected. But I just ordered a beer and a shot of tequila. Then there was these three young ladies over here, and they had bottles of, I believe it was Tito's that they were pouring. I think they were doing some kind of promo. Anyway, after I drank mine, he said, "You want some more?" If I first said no, but then oh, what the hell? And I ended up doing a video with and I got those nice young ladies in there. And I don't know the artist or the actual name of the song, but the chorus goes, F FDT, but they say out the words. I'm kind of, not saying the words, but so the whole place was yelling when they got to there was like this guy who got his shirt off and he's dancing on the stage, and I thought, man, that could be me. It wasn't, but it could have been. Everybody's doing a chorus of, but I look over the only people I do it. There was a couple. Well, I say older couple. They're probably my age. They might have even been a little bit younger. But they looked uptight as hell. But they were the only two people not not engaging. They just had this scowl looking at each other. Well, hey man, you're in Mexico. Of course they don't like us there. All right, finish up my Dunkel here, Dorf beer, if you will. Yeah, so it was fun. Like I said we'd never do a cruise, but we may do another one. In fact, it's likely. But now that we have passports, if I had to wait until I was 61 to get a passport, now that we have one, we feel like we ought to go somewhere, whether it's a cruise or, something else. So we're going to try to plan something for next year, whatever it may be. But now we can. But, like I said, we never really thought about doing a lot of traveling. There's a lot of places here in the U.S. that we wanted to go, but now that I have that passport, I think, well, I wouldn't mind going back to Belize because we didn't get beyond the port. Because, like I said, we hadn't been there before, so we just kind of went in, and the time was a little shorter there because you had to get on the tender boat. We were both a little uh, nervous about making sure we weren't late, right? So that was really nice, actually. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to Belize. I hope to never go back to Costa Maya, but I wouldn't mind doing Cozumel where we could see more. Oh, excuse me, could go beyond the port there, other than just to the beach club. So there were some places right in the city I wouldn't mind trying, but I didn't really want to do it not knowing anything about it, right? Without it going with someone that really knew the area. Then okay, the ship. The ship was nice actually. So it was on Carnival, and every time I tell somebody we're going on Carnival, they go, "Oh, Carnival's taking some hits on social media." And I honestly feel after being on a Carnival ship that I feel like it's unfair, and I kind of feel like it's targeted. They are one of the more inexpensive cruise lines. And maybe the others are a little fancier with the shows and even the food, but the food we had was good. And those of you that know me know I'm a bit of a foodie, so I wasn't going to just give them a pass. Not all the meals were a home run. I'm not saying that, but everything was good. Everything was solid. The only meal that I felt that was kind of subpar, but it wasn't horrible. Was we had some fried chicken one night, and the pieces were like, they were like these are baby chickens. But it wasn't just that, it was just that it felt like it was really overcooked. But the thing is, you can get something else too. So that didn't work out, but I had a plan B. But, I mean, I tried carpaccio for the first time. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot, actually. It which kind of surprised me because I've had steak tartare before, but I wasn't really, But it was the carpaccio because it was just thin, pounded out thin or sliced very thin, typically. We went to the steakhouse for our last dinner there, and I was going to get the carpaccio, but I had that another night. So now I had the risotto with crab and mushrooms. It was mostly wild mushrooms. That was kind of wild. And then I also ordered the 18-ounce cowboy steak. Now, when I fix steak at home for my wife and I, it's usually a 10-ounce, and we split it in half, or well, not quite half. I usually have 6 ounces. She's got four, but nevertheless, I don't need an 18-ounce steak. But I got close. I got real close. I probably left about 2 ounces, so I did eat a pound. It was just a very well done cowboy steak, man. Rib chop. I had the lobster bisque as well for an appetizer. You get an appetizer, which was risotto and a soup or salad. And I decided to go with the soup with the bisque, and it was done very well. Um, One of the meals in the main dining room, we had some prime rib. You could get more than one entree. So I had the prime rib, but then I said, I'll have the lobster too. So that was my steak and lobster, and I had the prime rib. The prime rib was really good, man. The one thing I did enjoy was the all-inclusive nature. They did have a couple other restaurants that you had to pay for. The steakhouse I had to pay for, but I had paid for that in advance, so it didn't matter. Now I was already paid for, right? But most of the food there is, in fact, that's the only meal that we paid for on the ship. The bars, I mean, we had the drink package, so everything was included there as well. And there were a couple of things. There was a seafood shack where you could pay if you wanted to, but there wasn't a need to because the other food was so good. We tried the guy's smokehouse. It was, it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was like chain restaurant barbecue. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing I ever had, but it was underwhelming, I guess. I was expecting more. And they had the guy's burgers again, kind of the same thing. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little underwhelming. But the pizza they had on the ship, oh my god, I wish I'd have had more of the pizza. It was wow good, man. They had this quattro formaggio pizza that was insane. See if I can remember what was on there. It had fresh mozz, provolone, parmesan, and gorgonzola. Oh, that gorgonzola, because the gorgonzola was on the bottom and everything melted. You can see those little blue cheese veins in there, man. Oh, it was so that was good. And it was fun. I felt like every time I told somebody we were going on Carnival was that, that's a party boat. Like that's just for youngsters. And quite frankly, if you're going to spend all of your time on the Lido deck, it probably is. But in 6 days, I probably spent maybe an hour on the Lido deck, just kind of wandering around and checking things out. But we weren't really there very often. I mean, that's your frat party right there, right? You got the two bars and they're at the pool, and you got people. That's where the younger folks were hanging. Uh, for me, I was hanging out at the piano bar, the alchemy bar, the karaoke bar. In fact, I planned on getting out to the atrium lobby more than I did. I actually only had a couple drinks there, and that was as we were waiting for other things because they had some stuff going on there. But I love that area where the alchemy bar was because there was another bar right next to it, but then there was a stage. So sitting at the alchemy bar, you can hear the music. Now, as I was talking to one of the bartenders, they said that the Dream is set up differently than most. Usually the alchemy bar is off to the side and they're playing nothing but lounge music. It's its own entity, but they're on the Dream. It's kind of out in the open. You've got this place, and this place. Oh, the other thing that I really enjoyed was there was a little coffee. So you hit the coffee bar, and I walk around the corner, and then there's my alchemy. But every day I was able to get a double espresso for me and a white chocolate frappe for my wife. And I really miss that the most. And I'm not a huge coffee guy, if I'm being honest. I mean, I do drink some, but I loved having that double espresso to start the day. And one of the nice women that was working by there, every time I get close, she said, "Mr. Tomas." Everybody else was just Tomas, but she'd always say, "Mr. Tomas." So here I am. I said, "You missed me, didn't you?" She said, "Oh, yes." I know they're lying to you, but bottom line, Carnival tends to take a hit, and I think it's unfair, and I also think it's a bit targeted. I didn't see any issues that you see a lot of on social media, right? I didn't see any fights. Uh, the service was well above average of any other place you might go. I met a lot of nice people, so yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of the issues that Carnival has been accused of. And quite frankly, I mean, that's the problem with social media is they typically only show you negative things. If they're filming something, they're finding a way to make it look bad. But I mean, I had a good enough time that I would probably do Carnival again. But because that was our first cruise. We're not locked into just Carnival. We can do other things. Because once you start taking a few, you're kind of locked into that one line, right? Because now you're trying to move up the ladder. The more cruises you take, you kind of gain status. But since we're only one cruise in, we could make some changes now. I'm just not sure what we'll do, but I will say that we are the two people that were adamant that we would never ever take a cruise under any circumstances, and we were lucky that two good friends uh, made us an offer to go, and we decided to do it because we initially told them no, but then we kind of walked it back. So okay, if that offer's still on the table, we're going to go. And I'm glad we did. It was enjoyable. So, anyways, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, per wisdom, and all around good guy. Beer Whisperer, same thing, all around good guy, and Sláinte. Thanks for tuning in, folks.